Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Denison, your billionaire farmer. So in this video we are going to discuss how to start a lucrative grain storage business in Nigeria with little capital, with very little capital. So all you have to do is to like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and stay connected, and let's dive straight into the subject of today. Right, so 5 key information you must know. So if you're planning of going into storage business, right, these are the information that you must know. They will guide you on how to move about the business. Number 1, you have to understand the season. Number 2, which grains to buy. Number 3, when to buy. 4, how to store. And then 5, how to resell at profit. Great. So you don't just have to just pick your money, go into the market, look at any grain and buy. No, you have to know the season. You have to know which grains to buy. You have to understand when to buy, how to sell, and when to sell at a profit. So let me break and explain all of these key points for you. So season, we have cultivation season and harvest season. So most times the best time to buy is to buy when farmers are cultivating that grain that you want to store. That is what you have to do. When you know the season, you can now know how or when to buy at a good price. So if you're going to buy grains that is not storage season, farmers have sold everything, so you're going to buy from a third party, somebody that is not into farming, that bought. At that time, if you buy this kind of grain, you will not be able to make profit. So you have to understand the season. You get your business plan ready. You map out all your target audience. So if, for example, now you want to store rice paddy, all you have to do is you have to wait and know that, okay, yes, of course, harvest of paddy have started already in most parts in Nigeria here. So, but the best season for you to say, okay, you buy paddy and store is around December season, right? Let's say October, November, December season. These are seasons where we have rice in commercial quantity. November, October, December season. So if you can buy that period, that would be the best season for you. If you buy at December, coming next year, January, February, March, April, you'll be in profit. You can sell at that time. But that is the season to buy paddy. How about maize? This is the season to buy maize. Farmers are harvesting their maize. So you have to know, if you choose that you are going to be storing, or let's assume you are going to be storing maize, you have to know which season that will have maize. So when you know this season, you can now sit down and plan. So the season, you have to know the season of the commodity you want to store. So the next is which grain to buy. You know, not all grains are good for storage purposes, especially for a beginner like you. You have to consider grains that have high profit margin and can be easily sold, right? So example, I say you can get paddy, you can get maize, you can get groundnut. Now, why are these one good for you is that they don't waste easily, right? They don't waste easily. So even if you struggle to get buyers or maybe a few months, they can still be okay. Your paddy rice can stay, especially if you buy at a good moisture content, it can stay for as long as complete 1 year, 2 years. Your maize too, if you buy at a good moisture content, it can stay longer. The same thing applies to melon and groundnut. You have to know which grain to buy. And as a beginner, you don't want to go into grains that will spoil easily for you. And even melon, one of the things is that if it is properly dried before you buy, it can stay longer. But if not properly dried, you might have challenges. So I will say explain to you what you need to know about all of that. But these are the which grains you need to buy. You have to understand which grains you need to buy. Then when to buy. harvest season, that is the time. It's important when you know that the season is much, and this is how it works. For example, this year in Nigeria we have shortage of rain, so many maize farmers got their farm roasted up by hot sun. So what this means is that if you buy maize now, you are going to get the probability of you making up to 50% return on investment is very, very high, because even though there was rain and there was not much corn harvest, the demand for corn will not depreciate. It will not reduce. People will be looking more for it, right? So if as a business person you can target that, okay, since there was not much supply of this in the market, let me buy and store. That is the best period. And you buy when this in a surplus and cheap in the market. That is when to buy the grains, right? So how to store? You know, the best method to store your grains is to store in silos. These are silos. They are the best way to store. But you know, setting up this kind of facilities might cost much. So the best way, or the alternative for you, is to store them in sacks. And when you store in sacks, you put a pallet and then put your bags on top, just like you have seen in this picture. You can see that the grains are not put directly on the floor. Many people do this mistake. They keep it directly on the floor, and the cold, right, affects the grain, and you start seeing that some of them will start germinating, or they will change color due to the moisture contact they are having with the floor. So this is the best way to store. If you don't have enough funds to do your silos like that, you put it in sack, you put pallets, maybe you have just few planks, put it on the floor, and let the sacks not have direct contact with the floor. You don't put clothes, just put wood and put it up. So this is the best way to store. This is the best ways to store, and there must be ventilation, of course, in your warehouse facility, right? So now, when to resell at a profit? There's no approved time to resell, but you don't have to be too greedy that you lose out making money, because many people, if they buy and discover that the grain is going up, they wait too long. You have to give a target. Remember, in your business plan, you have planned that, okay, I want to be making, or I want to make at least 30% minimum on this grain. So as long as if I am you and I bought that maybe today, and the next market day it raised, and the next market day and the price have been consistent, the only thing I can do is just quickly go there and sell. So many people don't do that. They wait until they discover that, because you know you're dealing with perishable things, right? Even though their shelf life is long, if you keep your grains too long and they get bad, definitely you are going to lose money. So it's better for you to sell at a reasonable price, get decent profit, and then you protect your capital. But you don't have to rush to sell too quickly. At least you make profit. So you have to set a reasonable target and constantly check out price fluctuations in the market. So if you don't have to buy and keep and just as you keep your grain, you have to be checking market prices every day, so that you can know what is happening. So what are the challenges that you likely face in this business? Number one is logistics, right? Because any grain that you have choose to store, let's go with what is called a rice, for example. You have to check a community or a state that produce in commercial quantity. That is if you're in Nigeria. So for example, now in Nigeria, the state that produces rice in commercial quantity, we talk of state like Kebbi State, right? So it means that let's assume you're from the east, you're from Enugu, and you want to store rice. It means that you have to go to Kebbi to go and buy rice and take it down to Enugu. So logistics is one of the challenges that we face in this business, So these are the challenges you are also going to face. So you have to know them so that you can plan ahead of them. The moisture content. So moisture content is simply means the water that is still remaining in those grains. You know, if you buy, let's say, corn now, for example, or groundnuts, or any of the grains that I've mentioned, the grains still have moisture, right? You still have a little water in them. So the challenge you are going to face is that there's a required volume, at least an average volume of grain of moisture that's supposed to be in rice for it to be suitable for storage. So you have to know that too. Any of the grain that you're buying, is it maize? What is the moisture content? We have an instrument that is used in testing moisture to know how much moisture is there. It's called moisture meter. Moisture meter. You can check it and order it. If you're going into storage, you need it. You don't just buy blindly. You make sure you check the moisture content, so that if you know it high moisture content, you have to plan ahead. What am I going to do to control it? For example, maybe you can buy your groundnut now and then sun dry it by yourself. Maybe if you are doing 10 bag, 20 bag, and you know you can sun dry, you can buy, knowing that the moisture content will not affect your business. But if you don't do it, it will affect it. It will affect. You have rotten, maybe rotten melon, rotten groundnut, or rotten maize. It will be a loss. So warehousing facility is another challenge. So many people that want to go into it is, if I buy now, where can I keep? They know when to buy, they know where to buy, they know when to sell the profit, but the problem is where to store and then resell when is the right time. So it's a challenge too that you're also going to face. So you have to make sure you get a good warehousing facility. It's not everywhere that is good for storage. You need to get a proper warehouse. So another thing you're going to face, challenge you're going to face, is security. Remember, this is money. So if you pick your 1 million and you buy granite to keep, it's money that is there. And where there is money, you should be expecting theft and other things. So how are you going to do? How are you going to protect the warehouse? It's another challenge you're going to face. So you have to calculate all of that. Where, if I buy this grain worth 10 million, where am I going to keep it? Because that money that is there, other people too are looking for it. So you have to know where you are going to keep these grains. So how the protection will be. Make adequate allowance for all of that. So these are the key things that you have to know for you to do any storage. Could be palm oil, could be crayfish, could be any storage at all. These challenges are constant. You are going to face them. So thank you for watching this video. And if you have any question concerning storage business, you can ask, right, and I will reply. And that is also my contact. You can reach out to me, we'll discuss. And if you have more questions, you can also discuss it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I remain Denison, your billionaire farmer. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, and remain blessed.